It's my vinyl update for December 2024. Ahoy, hi everybody, and Happy New Year. And yes, this is my vinyl update for December 2024. Some bits I've already shown during the month, some bits you haven't, as I often do. I'll start with a bit so I haven't already shown. So first up, this was a bargain basically. So in Townsend Music, they did I don't think it was technically a Black Friday sale, I think it was sort of just after Black Friday. They heavily discounted a load of their artist stores, and I took the opportunity to pick up a couple of bits. First of all, from Busted's store, an album that I was tempted by when it came out because it was so cheap originally anyway, that it seemed silly not to, but I never did, mainly because I couldn't decide which version to get. So this is Greatest Hits 2.0, Another Present for Everyone by Busted. So this is a 2 LP set. LP 1 is their greatest hits, and LP 2 is their greatest hits with other artists. And my main reason for wanting this is because McFly feature on Thunderbirds I Go 2.0. So this album, I think originally it was only something like 15 quid anyway. But I think this cost me something like 7 quid. It was ridiculously cheap. For a 2 LP set, they bought it out in various colour formats. I opted for this one, which is a yellow and smoky black vinyl. But a couple of others, there was sort of a split vinyl one, and it's a bit more smoky, this one. Very nice. Yeah, a splattery one, I think, as well. But this one looked nicest in my photos. I also picked up a CD at the same time, which features more tracks. It only lists the CD, the new versions with new artists. But then all the rest of the tracks are on there after it, just uncredited, all the original hits versions, which is very good, and that was £2, I think. So yeah, couldn't resist that. This is Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets Department, the anthology. So when Tortured Poets Department was released back in April, the various formats of the album came out, but at the same time, on streaming, she released an extra... Oh, does it say on here? Something like 15, 16 tracks that weren't on the album. Some acoustic versions, but most of them completely new tracks. So it was inevitable it would get a vinyl release eventually, and it came out at the start of December. So I picked it up on vinyl and CD, because I've listened to the CD. So my complaint with the original album was that it was just too similar to what she's been doing lately. There was nothing new and exciting on it, and it lacks any standout catchy hit single. The same applies to this, but more so. It all got very samey over 31 tracks, unfortunately. But this very nice release with 4 LPs, and each one is on a different colourway. All sort of smoky, but different combinations of colours. This I got through a slice of vinyl. I originally didn't order the CD through them, but this was delayed. It turned up a day late. No, that's wrong. Ignore that. I mean, it did, but it was because... That's pretty. The record label accidentally sent them CDs instead of vinyl. They got 2 or 3 copies of a vinyl, and I was fortunate enough. So rather than just randomly put those 2 or 3 by for 2 or 3 of the people who'd pre-ordered, they put them on my shelf, and it was there when I got there on release date. So I nabbed my copy off the shelf. But because they had so many CDs, they were knocking them out cheaper than you'd find them anywhere else, including Amazon or anywhere like that. So I grabbed one anyway. I did, for my collection, I did really need to get it. I'll sort that later. Couple of pre-loved I picked up in a slice of vinyl. So this is XTC's English Settlement. So this was £25 less my discount, so £20. No, £22.50. Nice. Original embossed sleeve, or debossed and embossed. So I've got a couple of XTC. I like them. I'm not quite sure I like them as much as most people on the vinyl community seem to. But I like them enough that I will pick up their stuff as and when I find it. But all in very nice condition. Sleeve's a bit tattered, but that doesn't bother me at all. And we don't get much XTC down here for some reason. So I think that's like the 3rd one I found in the 3 years I've been looking. And then I picked up for £20, so 18 with my discount. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Deja Vu. So a few years, it's nice again. It's got the foiling and the embossed picture. Yeah, a few years back, in my Record Store Day goodie bag I got from Slice of Vinyl, was a DVD and Blu-ray set of Crosby, Stills and Nash live, which I enjoyed, both listening to the CDs and then a long time later watching the DVDs. And it's made me, I'm not going to, deep dive on them, but I know, this album is considered pretty much a classic, and it's got Woodstock on it and Our House. So I've been thinking about getting it, so when they had it, I thought, yeah, I'll have that. So looking forward to giving that a spin. Another slice of vinyl pickup and another pre-order. This is Dua Lipa live from Royal Albert Hall, $39.99. So this is the audio version of a recent live gig at Royal Albert Hall that was on ITV. Nice package. So it's all spot gloss, but it's quite an easily readable spot gloss. Sometimes it's with spot gloss you have to be just the right light to see it, but this one's, that's not the case. So when you pull out the inner sleeve, that's what's underneath the cover, and it's just black vinyl. I say that's what's underneath the cover. It's actually the booklet. It's just black on the actual cover. But I don't think this had a CD release. Don't remember seeing anything about a CD release. I'll have to look into that because I do collect her on both. It's only sort of now that I'm thinking about it. I'll have a look in a minute and order it if need be. This I couldn't resist at the price when it was put up for pre-order. So this is a compilation, Once Upon a Time, a Tarantino Sound, great songs from his movies. This was $18.99. It's on 180 gram, pure virgin red vinyl. 22 songs from Tarantino films. It is very heavy on Pulp Fiction. Well, Pulp Fiction mainly. But it's also got tracks from Death Proof, True Romance, Inglourious Bastards, Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Kill Bill Volume 2, Jackie Brown. Nothing from Reservoir Dogs. It's sort of a notable omission. I have a Pulp Fiction soundtrack, so I do have quite a few of these already. But I always enjoy his soundtracks. And as I say, at that price, I thought these would be a good listen, so why not? Nice, solid red vinyl. This is... yeah, it is right around. This is Deep Fried Sunshine is the band. And the album's called Gold Transmissions. Half of Deep Fried Sunshine is Dan Hawkins from The Darkness. So that's what sort of tempted me with this. I listened to one of the tracks online and liked it. It's not, it doesn't sound like The Darkness, but he is a great guitarist. It's also Christian Fleetwood, Andy Shilton and Sasha Darroch. I think Christian Fleetwood is from somebody as well, but I can't remember whom. This Purple Marble vinyl, I was a bit disappointed in it. It is marbled, but it's more of a smoke than a marble. I'd have liked a bit more of the marble colour. Now this next one, regulars may remember a few months back, I treated myself to a vinyl copy of Sophie Ellis-Bextor's Wonderlust album. I think I paid £60 for it on eBay. It was the only album of hers I didn't have on vinyl, and it is not only my favourite album of hers, but it is one of my top 10 albums of all time. I absolutely adore the album. In the Townsend sale that I mentioned with Busted, Sophie was one of the artists. I looked on her website just to see if there was anything there that I wanted, and I was shocked to see Wonderlust up for order. And it said it was a 2023 repress, and it was signed. So I thought, sod it, signed copy of my favourite album, or one of my top 10 albums of all time. I will order it, even though I've just bought a copy. Day or two later, she announced on her socials that it was being re-released on vinyl and it'd be available in January. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll have to wait. But I got a dispatch notice and it turned up 3 or 4 days later. This is the copy. Now, yeah, nicely signed, and it's, it's been done sort of old school style in that she's just torn off the shrink wrap and signed it. Going by the signature, that is her signature, but when you buy signed stuff from her now, it doesn't have any embellishments, it doesn't have kisses or a star or anything like that. I think this is old stock, because when I compared it to the version I bought, it's the same barcode as an original release. It looks absolutely 100% identical to the 2014 release. So I think this isn't the 2023 repress. I think this is old stock they found of the original album. I'm sure it is getting a repress that will be released in January, but I don't think this is one of them. So I'm very happy to have a signed copy of one of my favourite albums of all time. I'm a bit annoyed that having spent 60 odd quid on a copy a few months ago, I've been able to pick up an original copy for much less than that. But that's, obviously nobody's fault. That's just sod's law. I'm also debating now whether to order the new version to compare. It's an album I don't mind having multiple copies of anyway, and I could always pass it on as some VCLT, so I might do that just out of curiosity, really, to double check that this is an original. But as I say, I'm 99% certain it is, because it is absolutely identical in every way, including the barcode. I haven't compared matrix codes, is the only thing. But given that the repress isn't meant to be out till January, and I didn't see any mention of that being signed in the blurb, as I say, I'm think this is an original, which is cool. Last thing I haven't already shown is Lottery Winners live at the Apollo. So this was their headline gig at the Manchester Apollo. Let's say the date on there. It was last year. But no, it doesn't say when. It's not the full gig. It's 10 tracks. If they've released this themselves, it's not done through their record label. As part of it, it's just on plain black vinyl. Very no frills. As part of it, you also got a card. I'm covering the QR code. But this entitles you to a download of the new album, which means this will count towards sales of the new album when it comes out in February. But it also has a video of the Apollo gig to watch in HD, which I haven't yet, but I will do. But it's, as well as a QR code, it's got this sticker, and you just hold your phone against it, and apparently it should do all the necessary for you, which I haven't tried and might not work on mine because my contactless pay on my phone doesn't work anymore, so that might not work for me. I might try it on my watch, see what happens. Anyway, okay. Other than that, you may have seen I got a very generous package of VCLT from Michael, as I do every Christmas, which is hugely appreciated. So this is the vinyl that was in there. I just realised I've forgotten the singles as well. Yeah, that's all of him. So, the 12-inch stuff from him. It's a copy of ELO's Greatest Hits. If you want to see any of this in more detail, watch the video. Jethro Tull's Benefit. Nazareth's Loud and Proud. Then there was let's get this one. Cream's Disraeli Gears. This is a very early pressing, but I'm not entirely sure exactly what pressing it is because I can't find it on Discogs. I've found the vinyl on Discogs, but it doesn't match the sleeve, so I don't know if this is a Frankenstein copy. This sleeve is embossed on the front, but not on the back. The link for the vinyl says not embossed. What's the word I'm looking for? Laminated. The entry for the vinyl copy that's inside says the sleeve should be laminated on both sides. I can't see one for just laminated on the front. There's laminated just on the front copies, but with different vinyl. But it's not a very first pressing, that's for certain, because of the credits on the disc. But it's definitely first year or two. Yeah, there's a load of 12-inch white label promo singles that we don't know what's on there, basically. I haven't done any research yet. I'm presuming they've been run through Discogs, but I will do that just in case. And then this one should be Haircut 100 if the sleeve is right. If that doesn't work, I shall be shazamming them as I listen to them, see if that helps. And there's a 12-inch interview picture disc for Wendy and Lisa. Couple of Prince promo 12-inch singles from the US. New Power Generation. And If I Was Your Girlfriend. Then a smeg load of 7-inch singles. Oh, this, I'll come back to that. Something else I haven't already shown. Forgot about that. So we've got Queen, Too Much Love Will Kill You. Billy Idol, Sweet 16. Foreigner with Blue Morning, Blue Day. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. Dead or Alive, My Heart Goes Bang, Get Me to a Doctor. Madonna interview picture disc. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Rage Hard. Barry Manilow, Let's Hang On. The Revillos, Midnight. Robert Palmer with Some Guys Have All the Luck. Roger Taylor, Surrender. Amy Stewart, You Really Touch My Heart, with a bonus picture disc of Knock on Wood. Eighth Wonder with Cross My Heart. Europe, Rock the Night. Depeche Mode, I think that's an interview as well. It's not clear on there, but be my guess. Anthrax, Make Me Laugh. ZZ Top, Velcro Fly with Velcro Fly. China Crisis, Red Letter Day. Whoa. Peter Gabriel, Biko. Art of Noise with Close to the Edit. Lost my place. Leif Garrett with Feel the Need. Mark Knopfler, Going Home. This is a flexi disc inside of Zeno, excerpts from a forthcoming album. Gary Moore, After the War. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Warriors of the Wasteland. Genesis, Invisible Touch. Upside Down. Blue Tone, Sleazy Bed Track. Not the 9 o'clock newsy, Ayatollah Song. Elbow, McGregor. 5 Star, Rock My World. Billy Idol, Don't Need a Gun. And Depeche Mode, and this is definitely an interview disc. Yeah, the thing I forgot to show, this was a purchase from my Bandcamp. So this is a flexi disc by the band Pet Needs. This has got the Burning Building, an acoustic and an electric version on it. And it's signed by the band. So Pet Needs saw supporting lottery winners last year before. Start of last year, I think it was. Really liked them and have picked up all their albums subsequently. Then the last thing that I've already shown was the only vinyl I got for Christmas. And this is the Zombies in the Beginning box set. So this is a 5 LP box set on coloured vinyl. What I didn't quite realise when I showed it is exactly what this comprises. So they only released, in their original run of 60s albums, they only released 2 proper albums, which was Begin Here and Odyssey and Oracle. The 3 sort of in-between albums, Early Days, Continue Here and R.I.P. Early Days and Continue Here are A-sides, B-sides and EP tracks. And then R.I.P. was going to be a posthumous release of overdubbed outtakes, but was going to be released after Odyssey and Oracle, but then Argent were formed, and so it wasn't released. If you want to see the vinyl and the sleeves and what have you, watch my Christmas video. There you go. So those were my pickups for December. I know there's a few pre-orders coming in January, so I'll definitely have stuff to show next month. Happy New Year again. Thank you for watching. Thank you all for your support. And I'll see you throughout 2025. Thanks for watching. Bye.